Okay, good morning to Hope. Today we're going to learn about factorization of algebraic expression. It's quite similar to what I've taught you before. I'm just going to give you an example. Example 1. For example, you want to factorize a squared plus ab. So what you need to do is you need to bring a common factor out. So if you look at this, what is common? I see a that is common here, a is common over here. So I can take a out. If I take a out, what I'm left with is another a plus b. So this is factorization. There is just a multiplication of two factors. Let me give you another example. Example 2. For example, let's say pi times a plus pi times b. What is common? A and b are not common, but you know that pi is common. So what you can do is you can bring the pi out, and what you're left with is a plus b. Okay, I'll go on to example 3. Sometimes you may not get only two terms or two variables, you may get three terms or three variables. I'm going to give you an example where there are more than one variable. For example, a square b cubed plus ab. How do I factorize this? So what I can do is I can bring the common factor out. What can I bring? I can see there's a here, and then I can see that we have a b here and b here. So you can bring a out and you can bring b out. If I bring one a out of a square, I'm left with a. Out of b cubed, if I bring one b out, I'm left with b square. If I bring ab out, I'm left with 1. Usually, students normally make a mistake of putting this as 0. You got to remember when you expand, you can always check by expanding. You should get back the same answer if you expand. Okay? If you expand, you go. This reverse is called factorization. When you factorize, put in the bracket. When you expand, you remove the brackets. I'm going to give you another example, example 4, but this time involving more than two terms. For example, 3pq plus 6p square q plus 9q square r. I introduce another term. So the first thing you should do is what are the common things that you can bring out? If you look at this, the common things that you can bring out include, look at the numbers first, 3, 6, and 9. They're all multiples of 3. So you can bring 3 out, and then you have pq plus 2p square q plus 3q square r. But this is not fully factorized. You still can bring other things out. Now let's check what other things do you have. Can you see that q is present everywhere? So let's bring q out. So I'm left with p plus 2p square plus 3qr. So this is the final answer. Can you factorize any further? Let's check. How about p? Can I bring p out? There's p here, but there's no p here. So you cannot factorize p out. Can I factorize further q out? Cannot, because the first two terms don't have. And the r is only a variable in the last term, so cannot. So this is the final answer. Okay? Now this is what I want you to do. I'm going to give you some time. Take out your self-practice book and try this question. Okay? Factorize a square y minus a cubed y. Can you try factorizing this? If you want, you can pause while you're doing this. Okay, good. I'm going to give you the answer right now. You still have time to pause. If you want to practice, you need more time. I can bring a square y out. and I'm left with 1 minus a. Okay, I'm going to go through the practice now, exercise 6b in your workbook. I'm just going to go through some questions. For example, 1a. 1a is a cubed y minus a square y. Now, how do you factorize this? You can bring a square y out. I'm left with a minus 1. Okay? 1b. I'm not going to do 1b exactly the same. I'm going to change the question a little bit. I see a pi r square h. I'm going to change this to pi r 2 pi r. It's slightly different from the workbook question. What is common? Always look for what is common. In this case, pi is common, r is common, so I will take pi r. If I remove pi from the first term and I remove r, I'm left with rh. If I remove pi and r, I'm left with 2. Okay, I'm going to do one last question, and this is on question 2D. Question 2D of your workbook. This is 12cd square plus 15cd minus 18c. Again, look at the numbers 12, 15, and 18. The common factor is 3. So I can bring 3 out. So I'm left with 4cd square plus 5cd minus 6c. This is factorized, but it is not fully factorized because you still can bring things out. What can you bring out? I see c everywhere. So I can bring 3c out. I'm left with 4d square plus 5d minus 6. And that is the final answer. Okay, now this is what I want you to do. You can replay this video if you need more help, but this is your homework. You need to complete practice now 6b page 73 in your workbook. You do not have to submit. Do not submit yet. The next time when I cover exercise 6c, I will collect it all together. Can? Okay, that's all.